Hello and welcome back to The Pursuit. My name is Josue Peralta here with my sister Abby. Before we get
Hi.
started, I just want to again remind everybody that we are trying to put together a Q&A episode. So please send your questions to the doc or to myself via social media, and you will be entered into an Amazon gift card. So if you want a gift card, just shoot us
Oh.
a DM with a question and we'll be sure to answer it. Again, the topics is just anything and everything we've talked about through all 4 seasons. So just please send in your questions and we'll be happy to answer it.
You said all 4 seasons?
Yeah, just any questions that they have about him. Why? What's so funny?
I mean, do you remember what you said in the first season?
I can go back to my notes.
Well,
I still archive them.
yeah, I have some, but
There's a lot of.
that's like 4 years back.
Let's see. It's 26. We did a season 25, 24, and 23.
Yeah.
We were
And
different
someone's
people.
like, when you said this,
Could you timestamp that, please?
yes, send your timestamps.
Yeah, if it's a specific thing.
Yeah.
100%. Also, I want to welcome all the new listeners. We've had
Yes.
some new listeners that have told me that they're tuning in. So, welcome everybody there. Doc, today I want to have a conversation about isolating yourself when stuff goes wrong. Like the whole reason the season started was because I was going through a bad season
Breakup.
of my life, a breakup, work issue, job issue,
Yeah.
things like that.
Mhm.
But one thing I didn't do, and perhaps is because I have a podcast and I just kind of aired out all my crap on the podcast, but
Yeah.
is I didn't really isolate it. I isolate myself. However, I'm more outgoing and I'm more extroverted than most people.
Mhm.
So when it comes to, like, for example, like when stuff goes wrong, I know some people have the tendency to go insular and to not tell anybody what's going on, to
Yeah.
just keep it inside, let it all kind of, I would say, boil up or fester. And, still water, that's what produces, a lot of the rot, a lot of the bacteria, things like that.
Mhm.
So I feel like it's a danger where when things go wrong, you want to hide and shield yourself from the people who love you, from the people around you.
Mhm.
Where I think the danger is that, again, you start kind of getting into your own feedback loop where you justify your own problems in your own misery,
Yeah.
and
You're ruminating.
you're ruminating.
You're redigesting everything over and over and over
Right.
and over
And
again.
then you just justify, and then you just kind of justify, oh, well, my suffering is unfair or whatever. And then you just
Mhm.
kind of go deeper and deeper and deeper, and that doesn't
Yeah.
help anyone.
Yeah. I think it's normal to kind of want to protect yourself, especially after you've been hurt or a big situation.
Mm-hmm.
Just because you want to control what you can control,
Mm-hmm.
and that's yourself. And if I am isolating, if I am somewhere where no one can touch me, I can't get hurt anymore, right? Like I can't take it anymore. But then that's also kind of like the flight instincts. But then there's also people that don't isolate. They fight and then they do all kinds of crazy stuff to deal with it in a
Mm-hmm.
way, right? They may not talk about it isolating in that way,
Mm-hmm.
but like for example, like women get bangs. Like they cut.
What do you think it is about the hair?
It's
Because
just
like my
it's
hair
going
looks
back
pretty
to
awful right
it
now,
go,
and it's not necessarily, it's not indicative. But for women, a huge hair change. I mean, I just need a haircut, right? But
yeah.
like, why is it the hair with the women that they go there first?
I've never understood it myself.
Okay.
But I think it goes back to what you can control. And, you know, bangs in a way, they kind of hide something. They kind of hide your forehead.
Mm-hmm.
They kind of hide the fact that you're not making good decisions, right? Because your frontal cortex, that's just me making something up right now.
Wow.
But like, yeah,
That's
like they
deep.
dye
That's
their
deep.
hair.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's so much, like they go out, do crazy stuff, things they regret. So there's
Change
both.
the wardrobe.
There's, yeah, exactly. So there's both, like men, they go out, probably like sleep with a ton of women or make
Mm-hmm.
not smart choices. But I think when it comes to the isolating, it can just be scary because if you go too deep and you don't have a support system,
Mm-hmm.
you might not get out.
Dang. What does that look like, do you think? Not getting out?
Well, just not that's just choosing to stay where you are, right? Kind of just staying in that rumination mode, victim mentality of like, they hurt me, life is everything, is about to get me. So you have that lens in your life for everything. And not getting out is not changing that.
Yeah. I think it also points to how, um, the hymn, keep your eyes upon Jesus, look
Mm-hmm.
full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will
We'll
grow
go
strangely
strangely
dim
dim.
in the eyes of his glory and grace. I think it speaks to the fact that what we focus on is what grows in our minds. And a lot of the times, and it's harder for me to admit this, right? That sometimes when we are our source of our own misery at some points, and specifically in this case, where if we were to ruminate and we were
Mm-hmm.
to just focus on our own hurt and our own thing, we don't talk about it, we don't
Yeah.
process it, then we start adding to our own misery. And then at that point, or I should say, it can grow to a point where whatever it was that triggered it is now completely like just outweighed by by your own undoing, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So like
Yeah.
if you got fired or somebody broke up with you, that's not the end of the world. It seems like that. And for some it really, might be, right? Like
Yeah.
I'm homeless, whatever. That's
It's
real.
huge.
It's real. It's huge. But staying in that for the next 10, 15 years because of that one thing that happened that one time, then you start,
Mm.
then that's on you, right?
Yeah.
And I know a lot of that is possibly due to like not having the adequate coping mechanisms and knowing how to deal with hard situations,
Resources.
and maybe like people avoid having these conversations because it is like they never learned how to have hard conversations
Mm-hmm.
in a way that wasn't combative, in a way that wasn't
Helpful.
helpful.
Let's start there.
Yeah, just helpful in general. And then if you don't know how to have those conversations with others, I would argue that you can't start, like, you may not know how to start a conversation like that with yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There's this lady, she's a coach on Instagram that I found her. Thank you, algorithm. Um, her name is Coach Val. And
All one word?
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I jumped on a live she does randomly. And something that stuck with me that she said is, the answer to your problems lies behind the questions you ask yourself. And I'm like, well, that is such a simple thought, you know? But it's like, it's so profound because it's like, how many of us actually know how to ask good questions? A lot of us, me included, we get stuck in like, why me? Like simple questions, yes or no, nothing actually to explore. And I mean, I think like I've shared lots of reels of hers to you, but
She's great. I watch them
yeah,
through all the
yeah,
time,
she's
like
great,
all the way
and she
through.
has like acronyms for everything,
Mm-hmm.
and she calls them quality rich questions,
Mm-hmm.
and like she like can teach you how to do that. And
Give me some examples of some quality rich
here,
questions.
I'll show you some. For example, like she has this
Yeah.
acronym called "Feel Your Way Forward."
Feel your way forward.
So this is what it means. So the F is feel the emotion,
Mm-hmm.
and then the quality rich question is, what am I actually feeling?
Okay.
Like
So identify
identifying it, not saying,
specifically first.
not necessarily saying it's yours, but it's like, what am I feeling? Kind of like stepping out of yourself, right? What am I feeling? All right. And then the E is experience it. And then it's allow yourself to experience it. But yeah, reminding yourself, I am safe. Like I can experience this because I'm in some safe place. And the other E is examine it. And the quality rich question behind that is, what is this emotion telling me? Yeah. See, like you see how like it's an exploratory question. The L is lean forward, and then it says take the next aligned step.
Okay.
Just one step.
One step.
So what I like about her is that she's really simple, and it's like, yeah, like it's her questions that help us move forward. And even this applies when you're isolating, right? Like, why, what am I feeling? Why am I isolating? Kind of like just question yourself. And I think Jesus, God does this with us as well, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like you go back to Genesis and God, he knows everything. He knows where they were and he's like, "Where are you?
Mm-hmm.
Who told you you were naked?" You know, like he approaches with questions, and I think it's an example for us as well of approaching things more with questions than just judgment, because a lot of the times we don't actually know what's happening.
I think
But
that's true.
questions allow us to keep a focus on curiosity, knowing that we don't know everything. And this is helping me because I am naturally a judgmental person, in the sense of um, like I analyze things really quickly. I come to conclusions, but it's like I'm not necessarily right. So like I need to like always catch myself, and being like, okay, let's be curious about this. This is what you thought, like kind of like a hypothesis
Mm-hmm.
testing.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, like giving yourself grace.
Yes.
Yeah.
Treating yourself like somebody you care about.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And going back to the sin example you were talking about, Ellen White talks about how man is the only creature that seeks unto itself, meaning that like I misquoted that, but the understanding is that like for example, like nature exists to serve. We're the
Mm-hmm.
only ones who are like, thanks, but no thanks. And then I think that the self reliance becomes a sign of like a coping mechanism where it's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
no, I can do it. I can do it. It's whatever. And then God never really wanted us to be like self reliant to a point where it becomes
No.
like detrimental to our own. It's
Mm-hmm.
okay to carry your own weight, but that does not mean carry everything that, like we're not meant to, is what I'm trying to say.
No, we need
Right?
each
Like,
other. We
yeah,
need community. They
right.
help us when we're down. We help them when they're down. Just
And
like
then we also celebrate when things are up. Yeah,
exactly.
it's not, we don't just
Yeah.
access community when when
When
when
things
things go wrong.
you need community every day.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
There's this thing, one of the skills that I talk to my kiddos about and just in CBT, it's called opposite action. It's literally in the word. So it is whatever you're wanting to
Do the opposite.
do the opposite. And like there's things of like where I want to isolate. Okay, let's do something. Let's do one thing. Um, so I think it's just all about when you're isolating or whatever emotion it is, kind of just stopping and actually, okay, what can I do now? What is it that I want to do? Where can I seek help from? Obviously, I think we should always go to God first, pray about it. And I think he can lead you to someone else if you do need like some other resource in the community.
Yeah, that's fair. I also want to talk about how I don't think, and perhaps this is the wrong way of putting it. I don't think a lot of us who see our friends going through things necessarily can identify it right away. So like for
Mm,
example, one of the ways I think it can manifest itself is like they stop calling you, and that's
mm-hmm,
not, or and maybe the frequency goes down, and you're like, oh, maybe he's just busy, maybe he's really going through something and needs you.
mm-hmm,
Another thing could be like they stop going to church less often, and you
mm-hmm.
stop seeing them. And then I don't know about you, but I don't really ask people why you weren't at church. And
I do.
do you really?
Yeah.
But only like those like close to you, right?
Honestly, I'm getting more into the habit of like get asking people, where were you? Um,
Okay.
I feel like
As opposed to why didn't you come to church?
yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of the times, especially at American churches, I'm learning um the best way to get to know people is kind of just assume you know them
Oh,
and
okay.
just kind
Yeah.
of like break the ice for
Mm-hmm.
them.
Mm-hmm.
So like there's always this Jamaican man, he likes to always says hi. I'm like, how are you, man? You know, like just like kind of like I'm willing to put myself out there, make myself a little kind of thingy,
Silly, yeah.
but it's like then they kind of feel like they already know me.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I do ask, be like, where were you? Like, I didn't see you. Like, I probably don't even talk to them at all at church,
Right, right.
but like, you know,
Yeah, you're
it
going up.
builds rapport.
I think, yeah. I think people, and I'm people, are afraid to ask something like that. Even though I am outgoing and, whatever, I'm conversive and curious. I don't want to put them in an awkward situation where like if something went wrong. But alternatively, it's kind of like someone missed my presence. Someone knew I
Yeah.
wasn't here. And maybe
Mm-hmm.
that's something that, we should probably, do more of, taking note of people's presence and this is something I do. I celebrate when they're here. It's so good to see you. And like every
Yeah.
time I go to Bible study, I like to spend at least, 10, 30 seconds or minute even, right? Like if I'm not there super late, just talking to people, asking about their week and stuff like that. And everybody has their own thing. So I always like to remember the last thing that they told me so I can ask them about it the next time I see
Yeah,
them
that's a good tip.
and see how it went and a lot of things
Mm-hmm.
like that. Um, because I mean, the truth of the matter is that no man is an island,
No.
right? And specifically as Christians, finding comfort in Christ should be our first and foremost priority. But God also uses people to help us. I feel like we should strive to be the kind of people that other people could go to and say, "Hey, let's go out to dinner." And it's not really about dinner. It's just I need somebody to talk to about my mother dying. I need
Mm-hmm.
somebody to talk to about my landlord and just needing, just like something like that. Because
Mm-hmm.
sometimes that comes out and I notice it when you ask a simple question and they just like take a huge left turn somewhere else. And I'm like, oh, I did that wasn't the question. But then
Yeah.
but then they just start going into detail and then I know, okay, this is something that needs to be talked about and that they have questions on. They don't care to tell me about how their week went. They specifically want to talk about this
About
thing
this.
and
Yeah.
we're gonna talk about this.
Which
Um
is fine.
yeah, which is fine. But the other thing is like, I think a lot of us who might be afraid to reach out to people, it's like, oh no, I got it under control. But I think that like control can also fool people, or I should say, the illusion of having control can fool people into thinking that that's growth.
Yeah.
And like the sense of control, like, oh, I'm insulated, I'm within myself, or what have you. It's like, oh
Mm-hmm.
no, I'm growing. Look at how much I can handle. When in reality, you know, a lot of the triggers and a lot of things that went wrong won't be tested until it happens again or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like we need people to help us process a lot of those things.
100%. And I think also when it comes to reaching out, um, you have to be very intentional, especially now more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
Because it takes what, 3 seconds to say, send a text. It takes 1 minute to send an audio message. But
Mm-hmm.
like we're always saying we don't have no time. But like for example, like I make fun of you all the time. You're like, I'm busy, but yet you send me pictures of watching a show. You know what I mean? Like what we choose to like put our attention in, like
Yeah.
let's be real, like you could send the message. But at the same time when it comes to isolating, I feel like you have to pray to God to help you how to help you and teach you how to reach out to that certain person, because not every situation applies. Like for some people
True.
it's just like one thing, but it's like another one, it's like you could show up at their house.
Mm-hmm.
And you kind of also have to um, kind of decide how far you're willing to go, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because let's say you're reaching out but they never respond. And like we're human too, like like that lack of like, okay, I can only go so far. So it's like you have to decide, okay, I can go this far, I will send out 3 messages this week, and that's how as far as I can go, like God take the rest.
I mean,
And
it's still a pretty good approach.
I think some people would see that as like, oh, like, kind of like a selfish
Why?
sometimes. I don't know. Cause like the whole topic around boundaries and stuff, it's always tricky. And some people things of like your own personal boundaries, selfish. Um, but it's hard. That's why I'm saying like God show me, give me the strength, how to help someone, or
Mm-hmm.
how to reach out to them. Like if it needs to be constant, like help me to remember that like I am doing this for you. Like I like it hurts me. Yes, acknowledge the emotion that it hurts me that they're not responding back. But it's
Right.
like at the end of the day, like, I got you, right?
Hmm.
Like leaning back on Jesus because he is our best friend. Um, so it's hard nonetheless. And then when you experience it yourself, I think it's super important to just pray to God a lot and
Hmm.
remember that sometimes you might get stuck, but Jesus never leaves you, right? Like it might be 10 years, it might be 2 years, but like he's there with you every step of the way, right?
Yeah.
And the point is that you're never just stuck and you're never too far gone. So
Agreed.
remembering that, and some people's process is just a little slower, right? Especially because if we're just taking it like isolating after a breakup,
Hmm.
some people just need more time. Like there's no one formula.
I think, yeah, but yeah, I mean, I would just say establish whatever time, or be conscious about it. Let's just start there. Be
Yeah.
conscious about it so that it's not just an internal thing.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, we grow in community. What is it? Proverbs 27:17. I looked it up. I'm trying to remember. Specifically says, "As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another," or something like that. We
Mm-hmm.
need that, right? We need people. We need to have our irons sharpened, in in other people. Um, like
Yeah.
I was at Camp Wakanda yesterday, and then I was like, I saw somebody, and I was like, I could be more like that, and I'm not.
Yeah.
I mean, it was something very small, but you know,
Like what was it?
he was just, I don't know, he was less worried. He was just chill as hell,
Mm.
and I mean, I'm not. I don't think I wouldn't say I'm a worrier necessarily, but I do, like, if I'm out and about, I may seem a little frantic sometimes,
Yeah.
especially like if I'm out with a camera. And I was like, how is he so chill? And I was like, maybe it's not that deep.
Maybe he's not that chill,
Or maybe
right?
it's
You
not
can't
that
see
deep.
him. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's
I
true.
and also I think just with being chill, sometimes chill takes preparation, right?
Right.
Like you can relax in an environment where you're ready. Whereas if you're not ready, you're improvising, you're on flight, like you can't relax. But if you
Right.
do the work, you show up to a presentation, you can be chill in the sense of
Yeah,
like,
but sometimes preparation is not possible, and it has to be
no,
impromptu.
yeah, I know.
And
And
then
then I think
that's
that's where grace comes in, right?
right.
Yeah.
That's what I need. That's what I feel like I need to learn: how to be chill, or how to present my, I don't know, how to feel chill in those kinds of environment. Because I was also interviewed for the Juneteenth thing, and I felt myself, my pulse rising as, like, she's like, okay, 30 seconds to air. And I was like, oh, okay,
I
30
think it's
seconds to air.
normal.
And then, she's like, okay, ready to go. And then I was just talking. So, like, talking to people is not a problem for me. Like, I'm talking in front of a camera right now and it's live. Like,
Yeah.
there's not really like any edits. But the awful thing is that, like, I don't, like, when it was that specifically, it's scared. I was like, I forgot a lot of stuff that I was saying, and I was just going off of, I guess, my unconscious was just spitting words out, and
Yeah.
I was like, oh God, this is ridiculous.
But it,
I've literally only seen the video once, because I'm afraid that it really. And then I also did a radio interview,
yeah.
and I don't even know how that went. I haven't even listened to it. I got thrown
Yeah.
because I'm just so terrified that my impromptu skills were not as sharpened as I would want them to be.
I feel like we all
Um,
think we got good impromptu skills.
but at least I'm like really self conscious enough to know that, God, I think I botched it.
I know, me too. But I'm just like in the moment, you're like, I got this. And then
Yeah,
it's like you said, you forgot what you were gonna say. But like at the end of the day, congratulations, you're human. I think it's
right.
like that whole pulse thing. Is just acknowledging it, not and naming it, right? Because like athletes, um, every Olympics they ask them, were you scared? And
The
they
answer is
say,
like, yeah,
yeah, they say I'm excited because they train themselves to see those bodily thingies as excitement. A
mm,
lot of what goes on in our body, a lot it's the same throughout different feelings.
right.
So it's all about how you're naming it. So like yeah, in that moment, um it's like you can tell, like I'm excited, like but at the same
Yeah,
time, it's like that goes with the amount of preparation you put in,
That's true.
Right? Because if you
Yeah.
didn't put a lot of prep in, it's probably more more
Yeah.
fear than excitement. But like
Yeah.
athletes train day in, day out. Like
Yeah.
they know they got that down pat.
Yeah.
Everything else is just so I think it's hard. I know I'm working on that too because I tend to procrastinate too. But I think it's possible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like the thing was, I did prepare for like what I thought they would ask me, but it's not at all what they asked me. So then I was like, I mean, objectively speaking, it went well,
There you go.
but internally speaking, I was like,
Yeah.
like I haven't even shared it on the family group chat or nothing.
No, I
This is
know.
not. This is me going insular.
They're our own worst critic.
We are our own worst critic. I mentioned last week that or when I was talking about like when you are the issue, like the problem in the breakup, a lot of times, or just say, it's not all the time that I feel like you should go to therapy. And I think like your friends, sometimes you need just a good chat with your friend who is very honest, who tells you what you need to know, not just what you want to know. And I think it applies here, where I think we can avoid a lot of issues. Like I think maybe that's why mental health wasn't an issue. My argument, mental health wasn't as much of an issue because we were more face to face, and there was more interaction with other humans. So what would happen in therapy would happen amongst friends. Uh, in the again, my argument, but I mean, I'm not saying it's not necessary or anything like that, but I do feel that a lot of it would be negated if we were to have that. So
If you were to
I
have
don't know,
what? Therapy?
good friends around you and not go
Oh.
insular.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah. Like to be like, hey, I'm just scared. How do you feel about? And then just them give you feedback. That's pretty much what therapy is. You just kind of
It is.
they help you think things out.
It is that, but it's not just any random Joe. This person is a guided like they're a person with like they're a guide. Like they
Yes.
they have knowledge. Like your friends.
Well, I guess I'm biased, right? Because I feel like I have good friends who would give me some good advice. So I
Yeah.
guess I'm a little biased in that sense. But
And I think everybody's case by case basis. You don't always have to go to therapy.
true.
If you have those good friends and you have those quality rich questions, you can do a lot. You really can. But the reality is most of us don't.
Right.
So that's why we got to rely on our resources.
True that. Can you close us out with a prayer?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dear Jesus, thank you so much for another day of life. Thank you, Father, for your love. Thank you because you are always with us. And just like your eyes on the sparrow, you're always watching us. Lord, I pray that you help us run to you in moments of when we're feeling scared, lonely, hurt, and we want to isolate. We want to protect ourselves, control what we can control. I pray that, Father, you help us lean on you, lean on your word, knowing that even if we may not have community or may not have friends, Lord, you're all that we need and you will guide us through no matter how long it takes because you're always searching and seeking after us. We love you so much. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you for having spent time with us. If you enjoyed this episode, please give us a like and in the comments, let us know what you liked about it. Be sure to share this with a friend. And as always, we'll see you all next time.